Hi there. So this is me literally a day later after the final Call of Duty United Offensive video came out, and I'm here to showcase the officially updated Call of Duty timeline, which adds all of the missions from Call of Duty United Offensive. So this is a thing I'm doing where for each Call of Duty game I finish, I'll add onto the timeline. I will update the timeline to add all of the respective missions in chronological order. So originally, the Call of Duty timeline consisted of the years 1942, 1944, and 1945. But adding Call of Duty United Offensive adds the years 1941 and 1943. So starting off uh, with 1940, the official start of the timeline is now in 1941, which doesn't really have that many missions, honestly. It only has two. So yeah, the official start of the timeline is the bomber mission, which is the Memphis Belle mission, or the first British mission where you're on the plane and you have to shoot down other planes. September 2nd, 1941 is the official start of the official new start of the Call of Duty timeline. And next up is the train bridge mission, which follows us after we get flown out of our plane and landed in our umbrella, where we meet up with, I think it was Major Ingram. I think yes. Now there are no. Well, next up is 1942. Now there are no missions in United Offensive set in 1942, so there's all these. So we're just gonna skip ahead to 1943, which is nothing but United Offensive missions because there was no 1943. There was no level in the first Call of Duty set in 1943. So here we have the first. So the start of 1943 in the timeline is the first Russian mission of United Offensive, which is the Trenches mission. The looks like the Pony Rye mission, uh, and so yeah, there's that. And then here are the next two British missions, which come literally a day later after this mission, where I think we blow up the lighthouse, and then the artillery stuff. I think these are the last, right? Because there's only four missions for each campaign. Well, the Russian missions have five, but uh, these two are the last British missions. Also, it says it has the date switched up, and it also has a proper time, like 9 o'clock, and it says hours in full. I don't know what's up with that, but whatever. Anyway, so these are the last Russian missions. This here is the final mission of Call of Duty United Offensive. So there's that, and that's also the final mission of 1943. And then here is 1944. Now, there's a lot. These are all the missions from the first Call of Duty, and at the very end of the Call of Duty, or wait, no, not the very end. And the very last mission of 1944 is actually a United Offense mission, which is, I think, the first American mission of United Offensive. Now we're moving on to 1945, which has grown a lot bigger since we last saw it. And these are the next three American missions of United Offensive. And one thing I didn't realize until I checked is that this mission, the Noville mission, literally takes place a few hours before the final American mission of Call of Duty 1. And the thing is that Private Martin's diary, it actually retells the events of the Noville mission. Now, if you don't know what the Noville mission, that is the Battle of Bestogeny. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the Nova mission, you're in the snow and you have to remember that one mission where we had to sit in that house and we had to shoot a bunch of rockets, a bunch of tanks, and a bunch of Nazis were jumping over the fences. We had to defend a house, right? And then at the very end, a bunch of tanks come in and clean up the whole place. That was the Battle of Bastogny, and Private Martin's diary actually retells the events of that. He was I don't think he was there during that battle, but he actually retells the events of the Battle of Bastogny. So yeah, this mission literally leads directly after this one. They're not the same protagonist though. And then after the Nova battles, we have the next, the final missions of the 1945 timeline, and then yeah, we again the end of the timeline is the final Russian mission of the first Call of Duty, and yeah, that is the entire officially updated Call of Duty timeline, which adds Call of Duty United Offensive. Again, I will be updating this timeline for each Call of Duty game I play. So yeah, this timeline is gonna get a lot bigger, which will be very interesting. So yeah, yeah. Ugh.